went to buy my first clubs, I was looking around and there weren't many things, just like comparing. So here we go, comparing the clubs. Hello, my name's Leanne. I'm here to help you decide on how many pairs of clubs you should buy. And the answer for me was these 4. Let's take it back to the start, shall we? I started with poly clubs. Plastic dudes. These are perfect. I highly recommend them because guess what's gonna happen when you start to learn? You're gonna probably smash these clubs together quite a bit, yeah? It's nice to not worry about dropping them. It's nice to, not worry about denting them, basically. I bought another pair from Amazon and they are slightly different. And these ones, just shitty balance. I don't know, they don't feel great. So it kind of depends on the mold as well, evidently, because these two looked the same on Amazon, but they are most definitely different. So we started with these plastic polyurethane, is that how you say that word?
Polyethylene.
You start off with these plastic clubs from Amazon. They're pretty good, yeah? The handle's nice, it's got a good pommel, they're pretty good. These are from Body Mind Fit. They are gorgeous. They're the standard, I believe the 600 grams. These are just a work of art. They feel so nice in your hand. The handle is thicker. It is noticeably heavier than the poly. So these come in at about 500 apparently, or a pound. These sat in my cupboard for a good 3 months before I actually felt confident enough to use them because I didn't want to smash them together. Next up in the house, 300 gram teardrops from Body Mind Fit. These are the favorite child, to be honest. I think I really want to get a pair of a little slightly heavier teardrops next because I love the shape. The different shapes cut through the air differently. They're balanced differently. I mean, obviously these two because 600 grams, 300 grams. And they sit in your hand and your arm differently for different movements. So this is kind of a really nice fit, for example. Whereas these guys, oh, that's a lot meatier. It sits in a different spot of my arm and it's just a different experience, hey. Next up, super useful dudes. These guys from Heroic Sport. I always mispronounce it. PAHLAVANDLES. There we go, maybe if I say it slow enough. PAHLAVANDLES. Little rods. We attach them to carbonated bottles that have had carbonated things in them. And there you go, you have an adjustable club. It's also cool that you get a bigger bottle, you got a bigger club. And then on top of this one, you got extra handles. You stack him on. Now I wouldn't do this if I had sand in one this big because I am aware that this is plastic. We don't want to overload them, but you can stack a couple of together and make more of a longer handle or a really short handle mace. So that's really cool, really cool. All of my students have been getting these ones to use at home. Whoa. I've really enjoyed getting to use a bigger size end to deal with on the club. So still different, cuts through the air differently. And the really cool part about the water is when you're on a really good run with your rotations, it goes silent. How you know you're smooth is that you won't make any sound. So for Indian clubs training and for mobility, a 1 pound pair of clubs, they're not going to become useless as you get used to movements. They're always going to give you some value. If you're not sure if you're going to like Indian clubs and you're just starting out and you want to give it a go, I would say 100% get this or these. That way, when you catch the bug, you can treat yourself and get some pretty pairs. This is the treat yourself option. This is the I need to start and let's figure out if we like this. So here you can see me moving a little bit with each of the clubs. I'm doing heart shapes, outward, inward, parallel left and parallel right. My body changes a little bit depending on which shape clubs I'm using and how heavy they are as well. So that's something to keep in mind. If you want to get in some extra practice, head to this video right here and do 10 minutes of full moon practice with me.